What's that?
I can tell you that Jakob Chychrun, Jake Sanderson, Thomas Chabot, Artem Zub, and Travis Hamonic are not coming out of the lineup anytime soon, if at all, ever.
I'm going to give you a thanks tips.
Okay. So it's going to be a long slog for Eric Brandstrom down the stretch here is what I'm trying to say.
It'll be fine. So, he'll get back in. It'll be fine. Anyways, we should be talking about Jakob Chychrun. He just came and played a hell of a game on no sleep.
So, yes. And then there was a major concern factor where Twitter almost exploded because it looked like he got hurt. Yeah. So, as you know, that one was a lot of interesting 30 seconds, if you will. So, you give me your assessment of Jakob Chychrun. All I'm going to tell you about Jakob Chychrun, from what I watched as just a fan sitting on my couch, is that you could feel a comfort factor with him being on the ice. Right away. There just seemed to be a settling down that there wasn't a scrambly part of that third pair. That's all I'm saying.
He can, for a big man, he can skate. And you saw the one play in particular when he had a foot race for the loose puck. I forget who I think it was Patrick Kane. It was Patrick Kane who was breaking for a loose puck. And you just saw Chychrun, long, big strides, long stick, gets the puck, problem over. Little plays like that make you feel real good to watch when you're Jack Capuano and DJ Smith watching that. You're like, wow, I think the quote I heard DJ say, this guy's an NHL player. We got a real NHL player here. And it's not a backhanded smack at the rest of your decor. It's just, this guy is a top 4 defenseman. That's what he is. And you saw it last night. The guy played on, barely slept. I think he had a couple naps, took the red eye, brand new system, comes in and didn't play a perfect game, but he played very, very well. And this guy's got some offense in this game too, that wait till people see what he can do. His shot, the way he passes the puck. And he's, like I said, I'll use the term again, he's big, he's rangy, and he's long. Guys like that, they just, when it gets down to the nitty gritty here, and if the Senators do in fact qualify for the playoffs, in a best of 7 series, guys like that are invaluable. They're tough guys to play against because they take away time and space so quickly.
Did you watch his intermission interview? He's 24, but when you listen to him, and he's got a bit of a growly voice, if you like, he's sounded like he was 28, 29, right? That just made me chuckle a bit. I'm like, Colin White. Colin White always looked 30.
Yeah, I knew Jakob when he was younger. I know Jeff very well. The agent, Andy Scott, was my son's agent, Jack, for a while. Great family. Andy Scott as well. Andy Scott too. You got to give him credit as well. When these deals are made, agents are always involved, and Andy is one of the best in the business. And I know you'd have to think he was involved as well, because they're playing both sides, right? They're trying to get their client moved, and they're trying to help the team, being the Ottawa Senators in this situation, get the deal done. So they're always involved. But no, Jakob is mature beyond his years, and it comes good family. His dad's a friend of our family's, grew up in Nepean, played minor hockey there. Just wonderful family. They ended up being raised, as everybody knows, in Florida. And then I think Jakob, back when he was younger, he was flying in to play games in Detroit. I forget whether it was Honey Baked or CompuWare, one of those teams. But he used to fly around everywhere to play in tournaments because they just didn't have the high-end hockey where he was in Florida. So it was a lot of commitment by the family to make sure he was playing high-level hockey. And he'd always come home for the summers and be up at his cottage at White Lake. So, wonderful family. And that's where it comes from. Whenever you hear a kid talk like that, it just shows you the way he's been brought up.
Yes, and that's exactly what you get from Brady Tkachuk. And if you've ever dealt with the Tkachuk family, same thing. Like, Chantel is the nicest person in the world. Keith Tkachuk, I have all the respect. Anyway, Brady Tkachuk is one of those people. Did you see
Nancy Chychrun's tweet? She sent a tweet out last night after the game. Great tweet, just thanking the city of Ottawa for being so welcoming, and just totally different. Like, you're in Arizona, where you're not even hearing about hockey. The fan base isn't really active in social media. It's you leave the rink and you are a civilian. It's a nice place to hide.
Yep.
You're not hiding in Ottawa, and it was nice to see her come on there and just say a little thank you for treating your son so well.
What a feeling, though, it must be for a guy to be that wanted to come to your hometown team, but to have that kind of explosion where everybody is all in and wants to see, like, that's awesome. What you, for all they are as athletes, you guys are all entertainers and you want to entertain people and make them feel good. That's a great feeling to have. You imagine when he takes to the ice tomorrow against Columbus, I would think that there'd be a pretty big roar.
He will have a chill going down the spine of his neck. Guys are human. And I'll never forget when I played my first playoff game in the then Corel Center, when I walked out for the first playoff game, and it was the first time the city of Ottawa had an NHL playoff game since back in the 1920s, or when the Ottawa Senators first existed. Every single player was so amped up. It's just this time of year leading up to the playoffs, it's so different. Well, you've covered it. The building feels different. The energy's different. And you just, as a player, it really inspires you and makes you play better. It's like a seventh person out on the ice there with you. It's a very cool feeling. It's probably what I miss the most about playing, besides the guys in the room and being around the boys. It's playoff time. There's nothing like it.